Live from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, the show brings you a matchup of division rivals. It's the Toronto Blue Jays going up against the New York Yankees. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. And we've got a major league debut on the mound in this one, Chris. And always interesting to see how that goes. But I'm sure there's a mix of excitement and nerves running through him right now.
Absolutely. Playing your first game in the show, it's just a little different for everyone. But no one walks in unfazed by the moment. I don't care what they say to anybody. And that's especially true as a starting pitcher that's expected to go out there and give your team a quality outing. All eyes will be on him.
Ryu has the ball to start this one.
Yeah, and the mission's clear. Get ahead and get in rhythm. Put in work early in the count, and suddenly the whole mound feels a little bit bigger.
Grisham working through some struggles lately.
Yeah, they say baseball is a game of failure, and that's true even for longtime major leaguers. Sometimes you'll have tough stretches just like this, but he's an experienced vet. He'll probably right the ship soon.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to go up the ladder for the K. And that's the first strikeout of his major league career.
And it could be the first of many if he meets the goals he set for himself and the expectations others have for him. He doesn't want to just win games. He wants to dominate at this level.
Do you think young pitchers could sometimes get too caught up in trying to rack up Ks early in their career?
Hoog, I think they can. It's kind of like a hitter that doesn't have power. The thrill is still hitting a ball over the fence. And so for a guy, even if he doesn't have power stuff or strikeout stuff, a strikeout is still something that makes him stick his chest out a little bit further.
That misses the zone. Ball 2.
He's just missing with some pitches that, I mean, they're not strikes, and that's what you think, oh, good pitch is a strike. But so many times pitchers are trying to tease the zone, and the last 2 pitches that he's thrown, good pitches, but even better takes.
That's in for a strike. And ball 4, and Judge takes his walk.
You know, I think he's okay with that outcome. It wasn't an intentional walk, but he wasn't exactly trying to attack the zone either.
Back up the middle and a base hit. Quick throw back in. Lead runner holds at second with 1 gone. Jazz Chisholm Jr. now.
He's been tearing it up at the plate recently. Can make it a 5-game hitting streak with a knock in this one. Well, all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
There's the strike. Runners at first and second with 1 gone here in game 1 of this 3-game set. Battling here as he fouls it away.
Way to lay off that pitch down.
Swing and a pop-up. Jimenez gets under it. Makes the grab.
Batting fifth, not shortstop. Caballero.
Slashed foul down the right side. That'll hook off into the seats. Strike 2, and there's a real chance they get out of this without allowing a run. Fights it off. You'll see another. Two on, 2 outs. Grounds 1 to short. Jimenez. Play made. That ends the inning. Scoreless after 1. Back in the Bronx and stepping in for the Yankees, Cody Bellinger.
Number 35, Cody
Fastball for a strike.
Good pitch down around the knees. You want to be there all game. In a park like this, a pop-up sometimes will carry out.
Bellinger went deep in his most recent game. Smoke to right, but he's got it.
Batting seventh, the catcher, number 28, Austin. Well.
Tap foul at the plate. He caught it behind his back. Over to first, and they get the out.
Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 24.
Jason Dominguez getting ready to hit. Yeehaw! Swing and a foul out of play. Two down, nobody on. And a foul ball, he stays alive. Here's the 0-2. Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And that is that. We'll move to the third with no score. Welcome back. Last series, the pitching was not good as we take a check of the numbers.
McMahon.
Well, we call that keyholing. Even though it's right there and looks pretty good, if he doesn't love it, he's not going to swing that early in the count.
That clips the zone. That is strike two.
That's a ball.
Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Stays alive. Got him swinging for the strikeout. That K is his third of the game.
Well executed pitch on the outside part of the plate.
Swing and a miss. 0-1. That one fouled off. The 0-2.
Tough to take a two-strike changeup that just missed. I think it froze him.
Fouls it back with two strikes.
Really good take, especially with two strikes.
Still tied at 0. Last of the third. Strike three, and that's 2 in a row. Chris, as we look back at the pitch sequence, he hadn't seen that curveball at all. How tough is it to adjust to something like that with a bunch of break when you haven't had a look at it yet?
Yeah, I mean, you're dialed up for something firm. You never want to take a called third strike as a fastball, so you're going to be a little anxious before you recognize the pitch. And right there, clearly didn't see what was coming.
Judge.
Judge in the box now. No balls and a strike. Singing he's currently the team leader in runs scored. In there at the knees.
Well, he didn't like those first two pitches. Now in an 0-2 hole. He's going to have to battle. Hope he gets a mistake.
Got him swinging for the strikeout. And he strikes out the side in the third. On to the fourth. Still scoreless. Back now in the Bronx. Bottom four, Giancarlo Stanton stepping in now for the Yankees. That's in there. That's strike one. Stanton working on a massive campaign right now, putting up some big home run numbers. That pitch gets the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
The batter, number 13, second baseman, Jr.
Right through there for a strike. Strike two. The Yanks down by a run. We're here in the bottom of the fourth.
Ball, that's outside.
Just missed.
He's really tightening up his hitting zone with 2 strikes here. I love it.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Picks up strikeout number 7.
Quite the start to this game on the mound. Looking very dangerous to these hitters. 7 punch-outs already. So this lineup hasn't had much success trying to figure him out. I'm impressed with what we're seeing here.
Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. That is the inning. So the Yanks go in order. They still trail 1-0.
Now pitching for
Back now to start the bottom of the 5th, and taking over on the mound, Eric Lauer. He last pitched 2 days ago. Ryu with a solid turn on the mound in his first taste of the majors, singing.
And Boog, he didn't let his eyes get too big out there with the bright lights of the stadium. It's so easy to get swept away by the excitement when you're making your MLB debut, but he did well out there.
Jake Ryu making his MLB home debut today. This crowd is ready to see the highly touted prospect put on a show. It's the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch coming your way next. And the starter for Toronto, Jake Ryu. Just about ready to roll. Isaac Collins steps in for the Royals.
Isaac Collins.
And we're off and rolling in Toronto. In the air, right field. Barger on the move. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. And there's one away. On the corner for a strike.
Well, he left that changeup up. Got away with one there, and he'll take it, but doesn't want to make that mistake again.
Fought off foul.
This guy's seen 2 changeups in a row. Could be a little vulnerable for a fastball right here.
That one misses. Ball one.
That's out.
And a foul ball. He stays alive.
Let's go, Ryu.
Got him swinging.
Good late cut for the strikeout there. That thing really got in on him. And, you know, the cutter isn't really a huge swing and miss pitch most of the time because it's not really meant to move a whole lot. You're just trying to miss the big part of the barrel and maybe get some weak contact. But that one right there did a whole lot more than that. That was a really good pitch.
2 down, nobody on. Swing and a liner foul off to the right. The 0-2. On the ground, Jimenez. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Now the Blue Jays will get their chance. No score. You're watching Blue Jays baseball on the show, Canada. Back here at Rogers Center, top of the second, Vinny Pasquantino steps in for the Royals. He's one of the best players in baseball at driving in runs, Chris. His RBI totals this season rank him in the top 10. And that one is downstairs, and it's 2-0. Ryu measures 6 feet 2 inches, only 18 years old, and he's a native of South Korea.
Thought the green light might be on right there, but maybe not. If you're looking to swing in that count, that's the pitch you want.
And that one misses outside. It's ball 4. And that's how they get their first base runner of the game. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out.
Good start for him to this ball game tonight. And I always talk about it. Get a knock in your first at bat. It just makes your confidence at such a higher level for the potential of having a big night.
Michael Massey in the box now. Takes strike 1. And that's fouled off.
So now it's all about protect mode. Try to shorten up. Try to track the ball. Block it if you have to as far as just a late.
Sets him down looking. And that is a big first out.
Probably locked him up with the cutter on the outside right there. And I got to think he was looking middle in because he just couldn't pull the trigger. And, you know, with 2 strikes, fastball coming in, you've got to be ready to swing it. That time it cut to the outside part of the plate, and he just couldn't pull the trigger.
You got this, Ryu.
And that one fouled off. Two on, 1 out. Check swing, and he went. And it's 0-2.
Well, all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
No, you got to be ready to swing the bat with a runner in scoring position and 2 strikes. Just put the ball in play somewhere, and you got a chance. Very frustrating for him, I'm sure. See if the next guy can pick him up.
2 aboard, 2 outs. Now it's the right fielder, Zach Cole. Swing and a pop-up. Has room, and he makes the catch. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league.
Matt.
Ball. That's inside.
The 1-1.
Ball.
There's a swing and a drive. And it's a foul ball.
him out.
Got him looking. And that's 4 strikeouts.
Frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter, and I'm sure that's going to sit on him for a little while. You want to be ready to hit the fastball. Sometimes you can overthink things, and I think that was the case right there.
Drilled in the air, high and deep right field. Way back there. And that drops foul.
On you, Ryu. Ball.
Hit on the ground to the right side. Guerrero takes it himself. First 2 batters retired here in the top of the 3rd. Here's Bobby Witt Jr. His first at bat was a strikeout.
Hey.
Lifted in the air out to left. And that is that. Royals go down 1-2-3. Still no score. Welcome back. Let's take a look at how the series has played out so far.
Yep, that ball went out.
Filthy changeup right there. Just pulled the string.
This one in the air center field. Strong has a beat on it. And a quick out, number 1. All tied up. Top half of inning number 4. And that's in there at the knees for a strike. Ring him up, says Darryl Parker. That's a strikeout.
Oh, big power guy right there, and generating so much bat speed. It's hard to bring that to a halt once you've committed. They tried to check the swing, just couldn't do it.
Nick Lofton steps in for the Royals. Single to right in his first trip. That one fouled off. 2 down, nobody on. Struck him out swinging. So he picks up his 6th strikeout of the ball game. Royals bats are quiet there. On to the bottom of the 4th now, still with no score. Welcome back and take a look at some hot hitting in this series as we check out the numbers.
Well, these Royals, from what we've seen, I think it's fair to wonder if they've been too patient at the plate. Sometimes it's a good thing, but today they're continuing to fall behind in the count, and that's adding a ton of pressure to their offense.
1 down.
I mean, they're getting hittable pitches. That's why they're called strikes. But going back to the dugout, knowing you could have done something with what you got is frustrating for hitters.
And the 0-2.
That's a ball.
The Jays up by a run, and we're at the top of the 5th.
All right.
And that's ruled a swing. It's a strikeout.
Oh, that's a tough one to swallow as a hitter when the first base umpire rings you up from 100-something feet away, but somebody's got to make the call, and that's usually the best angle.
And that was a really close one, but it's hard to argue the call right there, yeah?
Yeah, I think you got it right.
Now at the plate, Zach Cole.
Hey.
Now this offense has just been locked down. Almost 5 full innings of shutout baseball.
2 down, nobody on. Into the outfield, base hit. And they have their first hit since the 2nd inning.
Only 2 hits allowed so far tonight, Boog, so I don't think that one will disrupt his momentum all that much. You know, he's really been on top of his game, commanding his pitches all night long.
Ball, that's outside.
The kick and the pitch. Runner goes. Ball outside. And that's a stolen base. Not even close.
Here's what I think the manager's thinking right now. Today, we're not driving the ball. It's hard to get extra base hits. We've got to make something happen to get a runner in a scoring position. That stolen base, excellent call. Now, all it takes is perhaps a single to put a run on the board.
And fouled off. Stays alive. Man at second. A little bit high. Ball 3.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Down on strikes, looking for the 2nd straight plate appearance. He continues to roll on the mound as 5 shutout innings are in the books. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Now pitching for the Blue Jays.
Yariel Rodriguez gets handed the rock out of the pen.
And as relievers go, he's not a big strikeout guy. He tries to force weak contact, so command and execution are huge for him.
Ryu threw 5 scoreless and whiffed 8.
I like what we saw from him in this start, Boog. He competed, didn't fall apart at the seams, and gave the team a fighting chance at the W. Good start.